this candle over here looks like a beginning of an alt season for me. And we are actually right now, today, flying high for the altcoins. Look, the Ether actually went up by 15%. The whole altcoin market went up by more than 12% in just 2 days. Now, this is actually crazy numbers. And I want to talk about something extremely important, why I think that the altcoin season will happen very, very soon, most probably in July, latest in August. Now, there are two very important charts that we have to take a look when we are evaluating the beginning of the altcoin season. Now, the Bitcoin dominance is the very first chart. Bitcoin dominance was simply going up for the last 3 years. Now, take a look at this chart. This is a crazy chart. If you are in Bitcoin, you made a lot of money. As simple as that. Now, the reality is that all of us, also myself, I was not investing much into Bitcoin. I was investing mostly into altcoins. And of course, that definitely was my mistake, but it is what it is. And I want to take the maximum out of it. I actually want to make money with altcoins. Now, I traded altcoins, some for profit, some for a loss. I still hold some of them from 2024, and I want to sell them at their highest price, at the maximum price that I can sell them. Now, if I take a look at the bottom of my screen, where we have 2 cycle indicators, the 1 week and the 2 week cycle indicators, I can see that the Bitcoin dominance is about to top. Now, the 2 week cycle, whenever it goes above 80 and tops, we also see a top in the price, at least temporarily. Look, it happened like that in November 2024. We basically went above 90 even. We topped and the Bitcoin dominance started to go down. Same happened multiple times before. However, the tops were not that important during the bull market because Bitcoin was simply rolling up. Here we had the top and here we had the top, but actually we didn't go down by much, like here and here. We didn't go down by much. The altcoins, sure, they jumped up and everybody expected even a bigger retracement and the and the Bitcoin pairs. But what happens actually is that Bitcoin still was going up and the dominance was growing. Look, here it dropped only 4%, and here it dropped about, I would say, like 6-7%. Now, if we go to the previous bull market in 2021, we know that Bitcoin dominance actually can drop by a significant amount for a prolonged period of time, while it did here from January 2021 to May 2021. That was one of the best bull markets ever. The dominance dropped 44%, which is crazy actually, and altcoins simply flew through the roof. Everybody made a lot of money actually in that period of time. It doesn't really matter which altcoin you invested in. Now, a similar situation happened during bear market, like in 2022. Altcoins also performed quite well while the Bitcoin dominance was dropping by about 19%. But during the last 2 years, we didn't really have a bigger drops except this one. Do you remember December or November last year? I made a lot of money quite by accident when altcoins started to fly and the Bitcoin dominance just dropped 10%. Now imagine what happens when the dominance will drop 20, 25, or even 30% to the downside. This will get crazy and your altcoin portfolio will double and triple in value without doing nothing, without even trading them. Now, I don't expect that we're going to go below 50 or 48, but that would bring us to about 27% profit for altcoins against Bitcoin, which is crazy. Now, the second important chart is others, is what I just shown in the beginning. Others shows the crypto total market cap excluding the top 10. Okay, and exactly the same story. We applied the cycle indicators. Here we can see the 2 week cycle going to the top and also altcoins making top in December 2024. Then altcoins dropping down crazy. Now look, we retraced more than 50%, like 55, 56%, which is crazy. So altcoins lost most of their value and they're really at a bottom. Sure, we had a slight revival in the last few months up until the mid of May. Some altcoins actually went up and made a new highs, but then again, they went down like crazy. And altcoins right now, they are at the bottom. Today is the day because today altcoins started to fly. And why I think that this is the beginning of the alt season because of few reasons. First of all, the 2 week cycle is slowly approaching 80. It's currently sitting at 74. And we know that whenever it goes to 80 or 75, it starts this crazy zone up. This is where altcoins actually fly. That's the reason number one. This happened multiple times in the past. Look right here as well. Oh, not even there. Right here in 2023, we just went above 80 right here, and then we started to fly in many altcoins like Polygon and other. Like Polygon is not the best example for sure, but many altcoins actually did 10x, 8x, 7x like crazy. Okay, and definitely multiple times in the past. Now I believe that like I was there in 2021, and actually I made some money in 2021, and I know how it feels. Now I feel that we are somewhere in this situation where we were in 2021 September, October, just before the last push for altcoins. Now here we had the retracement, and people said it's the start of a bear market. However, what happened then, the altcoins actually rallied up and made new highs. In November 2021, we reached the top for altcoins, and it was actually the best time to sell them. Now, I feel that this exact move is currently missing for Bitcoin, missing for altcoins. We already went up twice. We retraced twice. We retraced even more than previous years. And the last missing piece of a puzzle is something like this, where we actually do blow off top for altcoins, where we go and make 3, 4, 5x. We sell them somewhere in August, end of July, and we forget about them. Now, I believe that this whole craziness phase will most probably happen in August. That's why I'm already positioned in some altcoins right now. The ideal situation obviously is when the 2-week cycle meets the 1-week cycle at the top. And currently we can see that the 1-week cycle is going down. Now, the good news is that the price is not going down. Altcoins are not crashing right now as we speak. We already had a huge retracement for altcoins when the 1-week cycle met the 2-week cycle, and this happened in December. Then we had a huge crash for the altcoin market. Now the 1-week cycle fully resetted, the 2-week cycle fully resetted, and then they started to go up. Now, the 1-week cycle simply had a top, and it had to reset. People who were investing into altcoins in April or March, they had to take some partial profits. They were taking the profits up until now. And I feel that now the 1-week cycle might reverse and do something like that. And then we are going to go up. Somewhere in August, we are going to make a top. And this top will coincide with the top on the 2-week cycle as well. The 2-week cycle will most probably be overextended. And here, somewhere in August, we're going to sell altcoins for the best price ever. We're going to get out of them, and we're going to start shorting. I believe that shorting will be the best strategy for the end of the year because we have so many coins. And if they do 2 or 3x, if Anna goes to $1, I will definitely short that coin because that simply, altcoins are useless and nobody really needs them, including XRP, Cardano, and AVAX, and many others. Now, if you wanna have access to these cycle indicators, if you wanna understand yourself about the altcoin season, you simply have to go to strategymaster.io. It's a website where you can get a free trading newsletter. In this free trading newsletter, I talk about altcoins, I talk about Bitcoin, I compare different strategies, and I show how you can actually make money simply by applying cycles. I use cycles every single day, and you really don't need anything else besides cycles. Once you have cycles, you know how to trade the market, you know how to make money, and you know how to invest. Get a free subscription right now. If you want to have access to all my indicators and all my signals, simply get a premium subscription for 46 euros or $49 a month. And then you don't even need to watch these videos. You know everything by yourself. But if you want to make even more money, subscribe to this channel, comment under this video, like this video, and see you in the next one.